Chosen one, stop looking for Job. Clear signs. Money is coming your way. Chosen ones, this is your moment. This is the shift you have been waiting for. It is not an accident that you are here. It is not a coincidence that these words have reached you at this exact moment in time. This is divine alignment. This is God revealing what has already been written in your destiny. For too long, you have carried burdens that were never meant for you. You have fought battles that were never yours to fight. You have exhausted yourself chasing after what was always meant to come to you freely. But today, a revelation is unfolding in your spirit. The Most High is speaking, and you must listen. You have been conditioned to believe that success comes from endless struggle, that to be worthy you must labor without rest, that to receive you must chase, beg, and plead. But this is the greatest deception the world has ever fed you. And today that deception is breaking off your life. God is calling you out of the system. The world has designed a system built on fear, scarcity, and survival. A system that has convinced you that your provision comes from man, that your security depends on a paycheck, that your value is measured by your productivity. But listen carefully. God is calling you out. You are not like everyone else. You were never meant to operate under the rules of this broken world. You were set apart, chosen, marked by divine favor. And because of that, your provision comes from a higher source. That is why doors have closed. That is why jobs have been lost. That is why opportunities have slipped through your fingers. Because God was protecting you, redirecting you, breaking you free from dependency on a system that was never designed for you to thrive in. This is why you feel the shift happening. This is why your spirit has been restless. Something inside of you knows that the old way no longer serves you. Because you were never meant to strive. You were meant to flow. It's time to let go of the struggle. God is telling you enough. Stop chasing, stop striving, stop searching. It's already set in motion. The provision, the opportunities, the abundance, it's already coming to you. But you must position yourself to receive it. Your struggle has not been in vain. Every rejection was a redirection. Every loss was a lesson. Every delay was divine preparation. God was not punishing you. He was preparing you for the overflow. The Most High is saying, step into divine alignment. Trust me completely. Let go of the old mindset that tells you success comes through struggle. You don't have to chase what I have already declared as yours. This is a supernatural shift. What is happening right now in your life is not ordinary. This is not something you can explain with logic. This is a supernatural shift. God is moving in ways you cannot yet see. The opportunities that you once had to fight for, they will start finding you. The financial struggles that weighed you down, they will be lifted. The seasons of delay and disappointment, they are ending. But here is the key. You must walk in faith. You must release the fear, the doubt, and the need for control. You must surrender to divine timing and trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Stop thinking like the world. Start thinking like the chosen. The world will tell you that if you stop chasing, you will fall behind. The world will tell you that if you stop worrying, you will be irresponsible. The world will tell you that faith is foolish. But listen to me. You were never meant to live by the world's rules. You are not of this world. You are chosen. You are set apart. You operate on kingdom principles, not worldly systems. And in the kingdom, faith is your currency. Trust is your access. Surrender is your strategy. When you walk in divine alignment, doors open without force. Provision comes without stress. Opportunities arise without struggle, because what is meant for you is already yours. This is your breakthrough moment, chosen ones. This is it. This is the moment where everything changes for you. After today, you will never look at work, money, or provision the same way again. After today, you will never operate in lack again. If this word is resonating in your spirit, if you feel the truth of what is being spoken right now, I need you to declare it. Claim it in the comments. Type, "I receive this." Let the Most High know you are stepping into this shift. And don't stop there. If this message has spoken to you, share it. Send it to someone who needs to hear it. Be a vessel of this revelation. Because this movement is bigger than you. This is a kingdom shift. This is a divine awakening. Your time of struggle is over. Your season of chasing is over. Now is the time to receive. Now is the time to walk in the overflow. Get ready. Everything is about to change, breaking free from the system, the truth they never told you. From the moment you took your first breath, this world had a plan for you. Not a plan to elevate you, not a plan to empower you. No, a plan to enslave you. A plan to keep you in a cycle so deep, so ingrained, that you wouldn't even recognize it as a trap. They trained you early. Go to school, memorize their lessons. Don't question, follow the rules. Get a job, work hard, give your best years to a system that doesn't care about your soul. Save what little you can. Wait until you're old to enjoy the life you should have been living all along. And then, only then, when your energy is drained, when your body is worn down, when your dreams have been suffocated under years of labor, then they say you can rest. But what if I told you that everything you've been taught about success, about money, about survival, was a lie? The illusion of hard work and the trap you didn't see coming. They told you that hard work was the key to success, that if you just grind a little harder, push a little longer, sacrifice a little more, you would finally have enough. But look around. How many people have worked themselves to exhaustion only to end up broke, empty, and forgotten? How many have given their entire lives to a company, a career, a system, only to be tossed aside like they never mattered? They did everything right. They played by the rules, and yet they still struggle. That is the evidence. That is the proof. This system was never built for you to win. It was never about hard work. It was about control. Because as long as you're working, as long as you're exhausted, as long as you're running in circles just trying to survive, you won't have the time, the energy, or the clarity to realize the truth. And what is that truth? Chosen ones, you were never meant to live this way. You were never meant to chase money. You were never meant to be a slave to a paycheck. You were created for more. You were designed for abundance, for overflow, for divine provision. But the enemy knew that if you ever woke up to this truth, you would become unstoppable. So he built a system designed to keep you bound, to keep you dependent, to keep you distracted, so that you would never discover the true power that God placed inside of you. This is why nothing has been working out for you. This is why every job application has been rejected. This is why every door you tried to force open was shut. This is why no matter how hard you tried, something was always blocking you. It wasn't failure. It was protection. It wasn't rejection. It was redirection. God has been pulling you out of the system, separating you, setting you apart, because you were never meant to survive like the world. You were meant to thrive under the kingdom mindset, where struggle ends and overflow begins. The world teaches you that money comes from toil, that if you don't break your back for it, you don't deserve it, that if you're not constantly stressed, constantly grinding, constantly sacrificing, you're not working hard enough. But God never said that. God never told you that provision was something you had to earn through suffering. No, God said, I am your provider. When you are aligned with His will, money finds you. When you are walking in your purpose, opportunities chase you. When you stop striving and start trusting, resources appear before you even ask. Because you were never meant to live by the world system, you were meant to operate under kingdom principles. And in the kingdom, provision flows. Doors open, favor follows, not through struggle, but through alignment. It's time to choose, freedom or bondage. Right now, you have a decision to make. You can keep trying to force your way into a system that was designed to keep you in chains. You can keep exhausting yourself, chasing money, striving for success on their terms. You can keep believing the lie that you have to earn, hustle, and fight for what God has already declared as yours. Or you can step into the truth. You can break free from the mindset that has kept you bound. You can let go of the fear that tells you provision only comes through stress. You can choose to trust that God has already made another way, because this is your moment of awakening. This is your confirmation. This is your divine invitation to rise above the system that was built to keep you small. This is why it's not working. God is pulling you out. It's not because you're not qualified. It's not because you're not capable. It's because God is pulling you out of the system, out of the cycle, out of the deception that has kept you bound for too long. You are being separated, not punished, not forgotten, separated. Because if He allowed you to stay, if He let you succeed in a system that was never meant to sustain you, you would become trapped. Trapped in a life of endless struggle, trapped in a mindset of lack, trapped in a place that was too small for the calling on your life. So He shut the doors. He blocked the opportunities that would have kept you stuck. He let things fall apart, not to break you, but to free you. Because the moment you realize that your provision does not come from a paycheck, everything changes. The moment you understand that God, not a job, not a company, not an employer, is your source, you step into a new reality. A reality where you are no longer chasing. A reality where you are no longer striving. A reality where money, opportunities, and blessings flow to you effortlessly. This is the shift that separates the chosen from the captive. Your abundance is already set, but you must step into it. Your financial blessings already assigned. Your provision already in motion. Your breakthrough already waiting, but you must come out of the system to receive it. Many of you have been wondering, why do doors keep closing? Why do opportunities that seem so promising suddenly fall through? Why does it feel like no matter how hard you try, things aren't working the way they used to? It's because God is disrupting the pattern. He is making sure you don't keep repeating a cycle that was never meant for you. Every rejection you thought was a failure, it was divine protection. Every plan that fell apart, it was divine redirection. Every closed door, it was a sign that you were meant for something greater. Because if He didn't block it, you would have settled. You would have stayed in a position that drained you. You would have kept working for a system that would never serve you. But you were not created to survive on the scraps of the world. You were created to thrive in the abundance of the kingdom. And now God is asking you to trust Him. The breaking point where faith is tested. This is where faith comes in. Because breaking free means stepping into the unknown. It means letting go of control. It means learning to trust in divine provision, even when it doesn't make sense. And that is hard for many people, because the system trained them to rely on work for survival. They were taught that if they stop hustling, they will lose everything. That if they stop chasing money, they will fall behind. That if they don't grind, struggle, and exhaust themselves, they will not have enough. But chosen ones, you are different. You are set apart. You are called higher. You are destined for more. You were never meant to function like everyone else. You were never meant to bow to a system that was designed to keep you small. You were meant to operate on a kingdom level where provision flows not from effort, but from alignment. And that is why this message has reached you now, because you are at a crossroads. The choice: keep struggling or step into divine provision. Right now, you have a decision to make. You can keep forcing things. Keep searching for jobs that were never meant for you. Keep stressing over money that was never meant to be your source. Or you can surrender. You can step into a higher way of living. You can trust that God has already aligned everything you need. The choice is yours. But know this: the system of the world will never serve you. It will never give you what your soul is seeking. It will never provide the peace, the security, or the overflow you were meant to have, because you were made for more. The moment everything changes, what if I told you that the very moment you stop chasing money, money will start chasing you? What if I told you that when you step into alignment with your purpose, opportunities will find you without struggle? That is what we are about to get into next. Now that you see the illusion of the system, it's time to step into the truth of divine provision. Stay with me. This is where the shift happens. Why God is telling you to stop looking for work, chosen ones. Listen closely. If every job application has ended in rejection, if every door that seemed promising has suddenly closed, if opportunities keep slipping through your fingers, this is not failure. This is not bad luck. This is not the enemy stopping you. This is God shifting you. He is pulling you out of a system that was never meant to sustain you. He is closing doors not to harm you, but to protect you. He is disrupting your plans because what He has for you is far greater than what you have been chasing. The rules of the world do not apply to you. You see, when you are chosen, you don't live by the same rules as the world. What works for others will not work for you. What provides for others will not provide for you. What fulfills others will not fulfill you, because you have been set apart. That means your provision will not come through endless job searches. It will not come through forcing yourself into roles that drain your spirit. It will not come through chasing money, hustling, or grinding in the way the world has conditioned you to believe. Your blessings come through divine alignment, through walking in your purpose, through following God's lead, through stepping into the flow of His supernatural provision. So if you've been trying to force things to work, if you've been exhausting yourself looking for a job that never seems to come, it's time to stop. This is not resistance. It is redirection. Every rejection, every closed door, every frustrating moment where things just aren't coming together, this is not resistance. It is redirection. God is saying, stop looking, stop forcing. I have something better. He is teaching you a new way to operate, a higher way. Because the world says, work hard and you will be rewarded. But God says, seek first the kingdom and all these things will be added unto you. The world says, go out and get it. But God says, be still and know that I am God. The world says, if you don't grind, you don't eat. But God says, I will supply all your needs according to my riches in glory. Do you see the difference? One system keeps you in a cycle of struggle and exhaustion. The other calls you into a life of trust in divine provision. God is removing you from the workforce, not to punish you, but to position you, because He has something greater. Maybe you are meant to start something of your own. Maybe you are being called into full alignment with your purpose. Maybe there is an assignment waiting for you that has nothing to do with a 9-to-5 job. Whatever it is, God is making space for something new. Fear wants to keep you bound, but faith will set you free. Some of you are afraid to stop looking, afraid to let go, afraid of what will happen if you don't have a job lined up. Because the world has trained you to believe that if you don't have a paycheck, you won't survive. That if you stop searching, you will fall behind. That if you don't work harder, you will never have enough. But that is fear talking. That is the conditioning of this world trying to keep you bound. That is the deception that has kept so many trapped in endless cycles of stress. But what if I told you that the moment you stop searching and start trusting, the right opportunities, the right resources, and the right financial blessings will begin to find you? What if I told you that provision has been waiting for you, not in the grind, but in the flow? The secret to supernatural provision. Have you ever noticed how the people who stress the least about money always seem to have it? Have you ever seen someone who isn't running around looking for work, yet they never lack? That is not an accident. That is because they have learned the secret. Money is not something you chase, it is something you attract. Provision is not something you struggle for. It is something that flows to those who are in alignment with their divine calling. You have been praying for financial breakthrough, but God cannot bring you something new while you are still clinging to the old. You are waiting for a job to provide for you, but God has already set your provision in motion in ways you cannot yet see. This is where faith comes in. God is asking you to trust Him like never before, to step out of the world system and step into His, to stop trying to control every detail and allow Him to direct your path. Because when you release the fear, you make room for the miracle. When you let go of the struggle, you make room for supernatural provision. This is your moment of transformation. Will you keep chasing the old way, or will you surrender to what God is doing in your life? Chosen ones, the shift is here. God is calling you into a newer way of living, a life where you no longer have to stress over money, a life where you are no longer bound by the world system, a life where your provision flows, not from effort, but from divine alignment. Are you ready to step into it? Step into divine provision. Let go and trust. God is calling you into a new level of trust, not trust in a paycheck, not trust in a job, not trust in an employer, trust in Him. For too long, you have depended on the world system to sustain you. You have believed that your survival is tied to how many hours you work, how many applications you submit, how many promotions you chase. But what if God is asking you to let go of all of that? What if He is trying to show you a different way? A way where you are no longer enslaved to labor, where your provision doesn't come through exhaustion, but through divine alignment. A way where money flows to you, not through struggle, but through surrender. Can you trust Him enough to stop trying to control how it happens? The radical shift that will shock you. Some of you are about to experience a shift so drastic that it will leave you in awe. One day you will wake up and realize that you are no longer grinding just to make ends meet. And yet, money is still coming. Opportunities are still appearing. Doors are still opening. You will find yourself in the right place, at the right time, with the right people. You will receive blessings that you never even asked for. And when that moment comes, you will look back and understand. It was never about how hard you worked. It was always about how deeply you trusted. God is saying, stop looking for work because your blessings are already on the way. Your job is not to chase. Your job is to position yourself. Position yourself in faith. Position yourself in alignment. Position yourself in expectation. Because what is meant for you will not pass you by. A new season has begun. Step into it. This is not just a shift in circumstances. This is a shift in identity. You are entering a new season now. A season where work is no longer about survival, but about purpose. A season where money is no longer something you stress over, but something that flows to you effortlessly. A season where you are no longer dependent on the world system because you are fully sustained by divine provision. It's time to trust. It's time to release. It's time to step into the new way of living that God has been preparing for you all along. Stop looking, stop forcing, stop stressing. What is meant for you is already making its way to you. Now let's talk about how money will actually start flowing to you once you step into this new level of trust. The spiritual law of money attraction, chosen ones. Now that you understand why God is telling you to stop looking for work, it's time to go deeper. It's time to understand why some people struggle with money their entire lives, while others attract it effortlessly. It's time to unlock the spiritual law of money attraction. Money is not what you think it is. Salam is not just paper. It is not just numbers in a bank account. Money is energy. It is a frequency. It is a reflection of the state of your spirit. Just like anything else in the spiritual realm, money is drawn to those who are in alignment with it. This is why some people seem to attract abundance effortlessly, while others work themselves into exhaustion and still have nothing to show for it. It has nothing to do with luck. It has everything to do with alignment. Why most people struggle with money? The reason many people struggle with money is because they are operating from a place of lack, desperation, and fear. They are constantly worried about not having enough. They are constantly chasing instead of attracting. And the moment you start chasing something, it runs away from you. That is why so many people work harder and harder, yet never feel financially free. That is why so many people grind for years, yet still live in struggle. Because deep down, they believe that money only comes through effort, stress, and hardship. And because they believe that, that is exactly what they create for themselves. But you are not meant to live like that, operating under divine principles. You were not chosen to be bound by the limitations of this world. You were not called to live in fear of lack. You were called to operate under divine principles. And in the kingdom, provision is not earned, it is received. When you align with spiritual laws, money flows to you without resistance. It comes through unexpected sources. It appears in ways that do not require exhaustion or stress, because money is not something you fight for. It is something that is drawn to you when you step into your divine purpose. The divine system of provision. How to align with God's abundance, chosen ones. Listen carefully. The Most High has already established a divine system where provision does not come through struggle, but through faith and alignment. Yet so many of you have been conditioned to believe that survival depends on endless labor, on chasing after money, on exhausting yourself just to make ends meet. But let me ask you, is that how God designed it? Look at the world around you. The birds do not toil, yet they are fed. The trees do not chase after the rain, yet they are nourished. So why do you believe that you must struggle just to receive what God has already set aside for you? What you believe about money shapes your reality. Your beliefs about money create your reality. If you believe money is scarce, it will be. If you believe you must work tirelessly to survive, that is what you will experience. But if you believe that money comes with ease, that provision flows freely, that God is your source, then that is what will begin to manifest in your life. This is not just a mindset shift, a tamama. This is spiritual law. God has already placed financial abundance in your path, but you must be in the right energetic and spiritual state to receive it. If you are constantly stressed about bills, fearful about not having enough, or desperate to find work, you are vibrating at a frequency of lack. And when you are in lack, you block abundance from reaching you. But when you shift your spirit, when you step into trust, when you believe without doubt that God is your provider, you change your entire financial reality. Because money does not respond to struggle. Money does not respond to fear. Money responds to faith, expectation, and alignment. Biblical truth. Provision comes through faith, not force. Let me take you to the scriptures. When the Israelites were wandering in the desert, they had no fields, no crops, no employment. Yet every single day, manna fell from heaven. They did not have to chase after it. They did not have to beg for it. God provided because they were under His divine care. When Elijah was in the wilderness, did he starve? No. God sent ravens to bring him food. And what about the widow in Zarephath? She was down to her last bit of flour and oil, preparing to die of starvation. But when she trusted God and gave from what little she had, her jars never ran empty. Do you see the pattern? God has never needed human effort to sustain His chosen ones. He has only ever required faith. Why are you still chasing? So I ask you, why are you still chasing? Why are you still searching for work as if your provision depends on a paycheck? Why are you still speaking the language of lack, saying, I don't have enough or I'm broke, instead of declaring, I am abundant? Your words carry power. Every time you stress over how the bills will get paid, you are speaking fear instead of faith. Every time you take a job that drains your soul just because you don't trust something better is coming, you are telling her, I don't believe you will provide for me. But today you can change that. Today you can shift your financial reality, not by chasing harder, but by believing deeper, not by running after money, but by aligning with divine provision. How to step into supernatural abundance. This is where faith meets action. Because faith is not passive, it is a spiritual force that moves mountains. Speak the language of abundance. Stop declaring what you lack and start declaring what you expect. Say it now, I'm financially free. Money flows to me effortlessly. God is my provider. I am open to receiving divine abundance. Shift from survival to trust. God is not limited in how He can bless you. He can send financial provision through unexpected gifts, through divine connections, through opportunities that you never saw coming. But you must be open to receiving. Recognize that money is energy. Just like love, just like peace, just like joy, money is a spiritual force. It flows where there is trust. It withdraws where there is fear. That is why some people who stress the least about money always seem to have it, and why some who chase it relentlessly never seem to get enough. Because money is not something you fight for, it is something that is drawn to you when you align with God's provision. Biblical truth. Expectation brings manifestation. Do you remember the woman with the issue of blood? For 12 years she suffered. She spent all she had. The world failed her. But the moment she shifted from desperation to faith, the moment she said, If I just touch the hem of his garment, I will be healed. Power was released, and she was restored. Your finances are no different. If you keep waiting for the world to provide for you, you will stay in struggle. But if you reach out in faith and trust that provision is already yours, abundance will flow. Because what you expect, you attract. What you believe, you receive. This is your moment of change. Look back over your life. How many times have you received unexpected financial blessings? How many times has God made a way when you saw no way? How many times have you been down to nothing only to find that God was up to something? That was not a coincidence. That was divine provision at work. And if he did it before, he will do it again. Stop chasing, start receiving. The shift that changes everything, chosen ones. You are standing at the edge of a revelation. For years, you have been taught that survival depends on how hard you work. That money is something you must run after, fight for, and struggle to attain. That without constant effort, lack is inevitable. But somehow, despite every moment of uncertainty, every bill that needed to be paid, every season where you didn't know how you would make it, God still provided. That was not coincidence. That was not luck. That was divine provision. God has been showing you all along that you are already taken care of. So from this moment forward, stop chasing money. Start writing it. The shift from striving to receiving money is already assigned to you. Provision is already in motion. But it will not come through exhaustion, stress, or fear. It will come through alignment. That means you must start thinking, speaking, and acting like someone who is financially free, not someone who is desperately trying to survive. Because the moment you shift your mindset, money will begin to appear in ways that will shock you. Opportunities will open that you never searched for. Unexpected blessings will find you. Resources will flow without struggle. This is not just motivation. This is spiritual law. The key to financial breakthrough, chosen ones, this is what separates those who struggle from those who thrive. The ones who understand the spiritual law of money attraction never lack because they have learned the secret. Money is not something you fight for. It is something that flows naturally when you are in faith, purpose, and alignment. And now you stand at the threshold of a decision. If God is telling you to stop looking for work, what should you be doing instead? How do you step into this new way of receiving? That is exactly what we're about to talk about next. Stay with me. Your breakthrough is just beginning. What to do instead of looking for work. Now that you understand why God is removing you from the workforce, the question is, what do you do next? Does this mean you just sit still and wait? Does this mean you do nothing and hope that money magically appears? No, it means you shift your focus from survival mode to divine alignment. The world has trained people to believe that if they are not constantly doing, chasing, grinding, then they will not receive. But the kingdom of God operates differently. In the kingdom, your provision is not something you must pursue. It is something that has already been assigned to you. Your job is not to chase after it. Your job is to position yourself to receive it. The first step, release control. The need to constantly search for work comes from fear. Fear of lack, fear of instability, fear of not having enough. But fear is a low vibration. It blocks blessings. You cannot operate in fear and expect to receive from a God who operates in faith. God is calling you into a season of trust. And trust requires letting go of control. It means stopping the constant worry about how things will happen. It means stepping into faith knowing that God has already made a way. The second step, pay attention to divine signs. Instead of looking for work, start looking for God's direction. What is He leading you toward? What has He been telling you to do, but fear has kept you from moving forward? Maybe He is calling you to start something new. Maybe He has given you gifts that you have been ignoring because you were too focused on surviving. This is the time to develop what He has placed inside of you, because your gift is your key to provision. Biblical truth: your gift will make room for you. Proverbs 18:16 says, "A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men." Your gift was never meant to be hidden. Your talent was never meant to be buried under a job that drains you. It is your gift that will open doors. It is your gift that will bring wealth. It is your gift that will position you before the right people, in the right places, at the right time. Instead of wasting energy chasing jobs that were never meant for you, start focusing on what God has already placed inside of you. The third step, speak the language of abundance. Every word you speak carries power. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. When you constantly say, "I'm broke," "I don't have enough," "money is hard to get," you are speaking curses over your own finances. But when you declare, "I am abundant, money flows to me, God is my provider," you shift your entire financial reality. What you believe, you attract. What you expect, you receive. What you speak, you create. Are you ready to step into this new reality? Look back on your life. How many times has money appeared when you needed it most? How many times has God made a way when you saw no way? How many times have you been in lack only for an unexpected blessing to show up at the last moment? That was not luck. That was divine provision. And if God did it before, He will do it again. But He is calling you into a higher level of trust. Will you continue to operate in fear, chasing after what He has already promised you? Or will you step into the certainty that everything you need is already on its way? This is your moment of transformation. This is where the shift happens. This is where everything changes. Because provision is not something you chase, it is something you align with. The opportunities are already coming. The financial breakthrough is already unfolding. The resources are already flowing. The only question left is, are you ready to receive? Step into the divine flow. Your provision is already set. Chosen ones, hear me. God is not asking you to struggle. He is not asking you to fight, to exhaust yourself, or to beg for what is already yours. He is asking you to receive. This is your moment of stillness, a sacred pause, a divine reset. Because when you are constantly moving, chasing, striving, searching, you cannot hear God clearly. When your mind is filled with noise, fear, doubt, and worry, you miss the instructions He is trying to give you. That is why He is telling you to stop looking for work, because this is not a time for running. This is a time for receiving. Right now, take a deep breath, be still. Ask God, what do you want me to do in this season? And then listen, not with anxious expectation, not with frustration or impatience. Listen with trust, because the answers will come. They may come through a conversation, a scripture, a dream. They may arrive as a sudden idea, a divine connection, an opportunity you never saw coming, but you must be still enough to recognize them. The power of obedience, your key to unlocking divine provision. Another key to receiving your provision is obedience. When God leads you towards something, do not resist. If He is pulling you away from traditional work, trust that there is a reason. If He is placing a new idea in your heart, act on it. If He is telling you to focus on your gifts, do not hesitate. So many people block their own blessings because they refuse to follow divine direction. They cling to what is familiar, even when the familiar is draining them. They hold on to the old, even when the old is no longer serving them. But when you obey without fear, doors open that you never expected. When you step into faith, opportunities appear that you never pursued. Chosen ones, this is not about waiting, it is about alignment, becoming a magnet for abundance. Instead of waking up stressed, wake up expectant. Instead of worrying about lack, step into gratitude. Because money is not something you chase, it is something you attract. You are stepping into a new way of being, a new way of thinking, a new way of receiving, and it starts with the words you speak. Declare this now: I'm divinely provided for. Money flows to me effortlessly. I am in alignment with my purpose. Everything I need is already on its way. Speak life over your finances. Speak as if the breakthrough has already happened. Because when you believe it, it manifests. Aligned action. Moving in faith, not fear now. Listen carefully. This does not mean you do nothing. It does not mean you sit idly and wait for blessings to fall from the sky. Faith without works is dead. It means you take action that matches the faith you are claiming. If God has placed a business idea in your heart, start working on it. If you feel led to share your wisdom, start speaking. If you have a skill that can create income, start offering it. God provides through people, opportunities, and divine connections. But you must be in position to receive. Stop blocking your blessings. Many of you have been waiting for a paycheck when God is trying to send you a divine opportunity. You have been expecting money from one source while God has been orchestrating something greater. And because you are too attached to how you think the blessing should come, you have been blocking it. Stop limiting how God can bless you. Stop searching for jobs when God is placing provision in your hands in a different way. Stop stressing about what you don't have, and start expecting miracles in the places you least expect. Because when you align with divine provision, money will flow without struggle. How money will start flowing to you, chosen ones. Step into this moment. Breathe it in. This is not just another message. This is a divine revelation. You have stepped away from the mindset of chasing. You have released the stress, the worry, the endless pursuit. Now you are about to witness something powerful. Money flowing to you effortlessly. Because money does not come from struggle. It does not come from sleepless nights, from fear, or from overworking yourself into exhaustion. Money comes from alignment, from faith, from divine positioning. The moment you stop relying on the world system and start trusting in divine provision, you create space for financial blessings to flow into your life in unexpected ways. Are you ready for the shift? Then step in. The flow has already begun. Supernatural provision. When money finds you. Have you ever faced a moment where you didn't know how you were going to make it? Where the bills were due, the account was empty, and your resources had dried up? Yet somehow, out of nowhere, money showed up. An unexpected check, a sudden refund, a stranger's kindness. That was not luck. That was not coincidence. That was divine provision. God has already assigned people and situations to provide for you. When you step into faith, those provisions begin to manifest, not by force, but by divine order. When you release control, God begins to show you just how limitless His ways are. You won't have to figure it out. You just have to stay in position to receive. Divine connections, the right people at the right time. Listen carefully. Your financial breakthrough is not just about money. It's about who God places in your path. Your next level is connected to people, the ones who carry the key to your next opportunity, the ones who will open doors you could never access on your own. And you won't have to chase these connections. They will find you, because when you are aligned, God orchestrates divine encounters. The right mentor, the right business partner, the right client, someone who sees the gift inside of you and says, I want to invest in that. You will be amazed at how quickly things shift when you let God make the introductions. Inspired ideas, God's blueprint for wealth. Chosen ones, money is not always sent, it is often revealed. God will drop ideas into your spirit that have the power to create wealth. A business idea, a creative concept, a new skill, a new way to serve others. But here's the key, you must act on it. Too many people pray for money, and when God gives them the idea, they do nothing. They hesitate, they delay, they doubt. Do not ignore the downloads God is giving you in this season, because that idea you keep brushing aside, that vision that won't leave you alone, it is not random. It is your key to financial abundance. Opportunities that seek you, something is about to shift in the way money finds you. Instead of searching for Jesus, jobs will start searching for you. Instead of knocking on doors, doors will open on their own. People will reach out with offers, collaborations, and financial opportunities you never expected. This happens when you shift from a mindset of chasing to a mindset of receiving. When you step into divine alignment, what once seemed out of reach will begin to appear effortlessly. Unexpected blessings, the miracles you didn't see coming. There will be times when money appears in ways that defy human logic. A debt canceled, a financial gift, a refund you never expected. Why does this happen? Because faith attracts favor. Because when you operate in abundance, abundance must respond. You don't have to force it. You don't have to manipulate it. You just have to trust that it is already set in motion. Money follows purpose. Your gift will make room for you. Chosen ones, hear this truth. You were not designed to work just to survive. God did not place you on this earth to toil away at something that drains your soul. You were created with a divine gift, and that gift is your key to financial overflow. Proverbs 18:16 says, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. When you operate in your true calling, people will pay you for what you naturally do best. Your purpose will sustain you. Your anointing will attract wealth. The more you align with your divine assignment, the more financial resources will begin to appear. This is not just about income. This is about impact. You are being positioned to bless others as you step into your abundance. Breaking the fear of lack. Now listen closely. Many of you are unknowingly pushing money away, not because you don't want it, but because fear has been blocking your flow. Fear of not having enough, fear of losing stability, fear of trusting God's provision. But fear is a repellent to money because fear operates in lack, and lack cannot attract abundance. The moment you release the fear of lack, you make space for provision. You shift from desperation to expectation. And expectation is the birthplace of miracles. The signs that God is about to bless you financially. Chosen ones, step into this moment. This is not just another message. This is a divine confirmation. When God is about to release a financial blessing over your life, He will send signs. Nothing in the spiritual realm happens without warning, without preparation, without divine signals. But most people miss the signs because they are too focused on lack, struggle, and fear. They are so consumed by their present difficulties that they fail to recognize the shift that is already in motion. But you, chosen ones, are being called to see differently, to discern the move of God, to recognize the signs before the blessing arrives. Because when you are aligning with His will, your breakthrough is closer than you think. And today, I'm going to reveal the signs that confirm your financial blessing is on the way. Pay attention. The shift is happening now. 1. Divine disruptions when everything seems to be falling apart. Have you been feeling like everything is suddenly out of order? Doors closing, money feeling tight, opportunities disappearing. This is not failure. This is divine redirection. Many of you have been praying for financial overflow while still holding on to things that cannot exist in your new season. So God is shaking things up. He is removing the things, the jobs, the situations, and even the people that were blocking your blessings. And if you have been feeling frustrated, like nothing is working in your favor, this is actually a sign that everything is shifting for you. 2. A sudden, unexplainable peace about money. You might still have bills due. You might still be waiting for something to come through, but suddenly, deep within your spirit, you feel calm. You stop stressing. You stop panicking. And even though the numbers in your bank account haven't changed yet, something inside of you just knows everything is going to work out. That peace is not ordinary. It is supernatural. It is a divine confirmation that your financial breakthrough is already moving toward you. Your faith is catching up with your reality. When you stop vibrating at the frequency of stress and step into the frequency of trust, money begins to move toward you faster. 3. Random confirmations and synchronicities. Have you been seeing numbers like 777, 888, or 111 more often? Do you keep hearing messages about wealth, abundance, and provision everywhere you go? Has someone randomly said something to you that felt like a direct message from God? These are not coincidences. These are divine signals. Heaven is trying to get your attention. The spiritual realm is aligning everything for your financial increase. And these signs are winks from God, letting you know that your breakthrough is near. 4. New opportunities appearing out of nowhere. You weren't even searching, yet suddenly an idea sparks in your mind. A business opportunity appears. A job offer comes. A door opens that you never knocked on. This is not random. When God is about to bless you financially, He sends people, ideas, and divine encounters to unlock your next level. But here's the key. You must be open to receiving. Some of you have ignored the very thing that was supposed to bring you wealth because it didn't come in the way you expected. Do not block your blessing because it looks different from what you imagined. 5. Your relationship with money begins to change. The words you speak about money start shifting. You stop saying things like, "I'm broke. Money is hard to get. I never have enough." And instead you begin to declare, "Money flows to me effortlessly. I am always provided for. Financial blessings are my birthright." This shift in mindset is one of the strongest signs that your financial breakthrough is close. Because God cannot release abundance to someone who is mentally rejecting it. When you start believing that you are already wealthy in the spirit, the physical manifestation of wealth follows. 6. Small, unexpected financial blessings appear. Before the floodgates open, God often tests your faith with smaller blessings. An unexpected refund, a $50 gift, a bill that gets mysteriously covered. These are previews of what's coming. They are not small. They are signs. They are God's way of showing you that financial overflow is on the way. And when you show gratitude for the small, the large begins to flow effortlessly. Celebrate every financial blessing, no matter the size, because the flood is coming. 7. A divine nudge to give before receiving. This might seem backward, but before a major financial breakthrough, God will often put it in your heart to give, to bless someone else, to tithe, to give freely, even when you feel like you don't have much. Why? Because God operates on the principle of sowing and reaping. When He is about to release something big into your life, He first sees if you have the faith to give, knowing that what you give will return to you multiplied. So if you suddenly feel the urge to bless someone, do not ignore it. It is a sign that a major financial blessing is already being prepared for you. 8. Your old financial struggles no longer have power over you. The same problems that used to stress you out no longer shake you. You stop making decisions from a place of fear because your spirit already knows. The money is coming. It is already done. This is a sign that you have fully stepped into alignment. And when you are aligned, provision flows effortlessly and abundantly. There is a moment in the spiritual realm when everything shifts. A moment when you feel something inside of you changing. Suddenly, fear loses its grip. Suddenly, you no longer feel anxious about money. Suddenly, you just know your financial breakthrough is imminent. This moment is not ordinary. It is a divine signal. The moment you feel this shift, know that you are days, if not hours, away from a major financial breakthrough. Your spirit senses it before your eyes see it. Do you feel it now? Because if you do, get ready. Your season of struggle is ending. Your time of overflow has arrived. The ultimate test of faith right before the blessing. But before every great breakthrough, there is one final test. A moment where you will have to trust God more than you ever have before, a situation that will stretch you, shake you, and challenge your faith. It might feel like everything is falling apart, like doors are closing, like you are being pushed to your absolute limit. But hear me now, this is not the end. This is the final test. This is where most people either stand firm and receive their blessing or fall into doubt and delay it. Right before your financial breakthrough, the enemy will try to shake your faith one last time. He will whisper lies. He will make you feel like God has forgotten you. He will try to make you panic and give up just before your blessing is released. But you will not break. You will not fall into fear. You will not question what God has already promised you. Instead, you will stand in authority and declare, "My financial blessing is already here. Nothing can stop what God has for me." And when you declare it with unshakable faith, watch how quickly everything shifts. Final message: step into your financial breakthrough. Chosen ones, this moment is sacred. You have made it to the end of this message, and that alone is a confirmation. This was not a coincidence. This was not random. This was divine alignment. You were meant to hear these words right now because something in your spirit has already shifted. The way you see money work and divine provision will never be the same again. The veil has been lifted. The truth has been revealed. And now you are being called to step fully into it, a new season. No more chasing, only receiving. God has been telling you to stop chasing, to stop forcing, to stop searching for opportunities that were never meant for you, because He is shifting you. He is lifting you into a new season, a season where you no longer run after money. Money runs after you. A season where your provision comes through alignment, not exhaustion. A season where your gifts, your purpose, and your faith become the source of your wealth. Not struggle, not stress, not endless labor. Can you feel it? Can you sense the shift? This is the moment where you make a decision. Will you keep operating in fear, wondering if you'll have enough, questioning whether you are truly taken care of? Or will you step boldly into faith, knowing that your financial breakthrough is already here? Will you keep looking for work that was never meant for you? Or will you surrender to the divine flow, where opportunities, wealth, and resources are already moving toward you? The choice is yours. But let me tell you this: those who trust, those who surrender, those who let go of the need to control, will be the ones who experience supernatural provision in this season. This is your confirmation. Declare it now, chosen ones. This is it. If this message is stirring something deep inside of you, if something in your spirit is saying, "This is for me, I receive this," then do something right now. Speak it, claim it, declare it. Say out loud, "I will never chase money again. I will never stress over work again. I will never doubt God's provision again. I am financially free. I am abundant. Money flows to me effortlessly. I am aligned with my divine purpose." This is more than words. This is an activation. When you speak it, the spiritual realm moves in your favor. When you declare it, your frequency shifts. When you claim it, you position yourself to receive it. And from this moment forward, your life will never be the same. A call to action: spread the truth. If this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Someone else needs to hear this. Someone else is on the edge of their breakthrough. Someone else is ready to be free from the struggle, but they need confirmation. So right now, like this video, subscribe to the channel and share this message with another chosen one who needs to be awakened to their divine truth. Because when we spread this wisdom, we ignite a movement. We awaken others. We shift the collective. And the financial blessings that are about to be released will change lives forever. This is not just a message. This is a movement. Your financial overflow has already begun, chosen ones. Your breakthrough is already here. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to stress over it. All you have to do is receive it. Watch how money starts flowing. Watch how opportunities begin appearing. Watch how everything you need starts coming to you effortlessly. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer chasing money. Money is chasing you. Stay blessed, stay aligned, and watch what God does next.